Okay, I forgot to say this in the last video, but I've been on vacation, so I haven't uploaded an actual video for the entirety last week. That's why you guys got the short, but I'm back. So I was basically begged by a person in real life to do this video because they loved my Creepypastas video. This time, I'm talking about bad Creepypastas. I said in the initial Creepypastas video that I find a lot of them are terrible nowadays. Well, honestly, not necessarily terrible, just really fucking mediocre. So I'll go over the ones that stand out as heaping piles of horse shit. Starting with one you may remember was dissed a lot in the first Creepypastas video, Jeff the Killer. Let's start with the name, Jeff the Killer. You could not come up with anything better? Seriously, Jeff the Killer? What's next? Dave the Disemboweler? John the Rapist? This name is fucking stupid. The truly bad part of Jeff the Killer, however, is the story itself. The person in question who wanted me to do this video said there's some new rewrite of the story, but I'd assume everyone knows the original story. So basically there's this kid named Jeff who moves to a new town, and in that town is this really rough school. There are bullies at this school, and they're more straight up psychopaths than bullies because Jeff gets into a fight with these bullies. And every time I hear this story, there's some new details on this fight scene. But Jeff gets his shit rocked and he's lit on fire at one point, which makes his skin go white, alongside some other horrible injuries. He's unbelievably pissed. And so this incident motivates him to go home and carve a smile on his face like he thinks he's the fucking Joker. And he also cuts off his eyelids so he can't sleep. He did all without painkillers, mind you. And then he goes and murders his family and then goes on a murder spree. That's the story of arguably the second most famous creepypasta. Dude. Okay, I don't know how to exactly describe how I feel about this masterclass of writing, but here's what I came up with. This sounds like some fucking school shooter fan fiction to me. I'll explain further. Hearing this story reminds me of some weird emo kid whose name is probably fucking Jeff, who has like the absolute worst day at school because he's fucking weird and gets bullied for it. He goes home crying and boots up his computer thinking, they don't understand. Those bullies will pay for what they did. And then he goes on Wattpad and cooks this up while yelling at his mom he wants chicken nuggets for dinner. And the reason I think this way is because I'm a writer. Self-proclaimed. I've been doing it my whole life. I went through a phase in grade 5, and I would always make stories where I quote-unquote showed the people who doubted me by being a badass. I'm speaking from experience. Also, you can throw in the millions of spin-offs like Jane and Nina the Killer, fucking dumb. Okay, the next one is even worse. It's Sonic.exe. With this one, it's collectively agreed upon that it's a load of shit. I'll be talking about other corrupted media creepypastas because in general, those ones fucking suck. But the story of Sonic.exe is that this kid buys a sketchy Sonic cartridge from a shop and boots it up. And the best thing about this fucking creepypasta is the weirdly vivid descriptions of creepy shit happening. You know that one fucking video of the Fortnite creepypastas?
I was rather shocked by some of the names. Instead of Risky Reels, it was called Rapist Thrills. Dusty Divot was named Bloody Wound. Pleasant Park, huge rusty bloody scalpel with chunks of gore dripping off of it, and his back bling was an aborted fetus.
That one's clearly satire. But Sonic.exe has the same shit, except unironically, it's so bad. Anyways, I'm pretty sure the Sonic in this one is all evil and he's actually a ghost, but I couldn't recite the story to you word for word because I forget a lot of it. All I can remember is that it was even stupid back then, it's certainly stupid now, but it has a huge fan base for some reason. So that's that. Okay, next one. On the topic of corrupted media, Dead Bart. Yet again, the Jeff the Killer problem. The author seriously came up with fucking Dead Bart and thought, holy shit, let's roll with that. I mean, you already gave away the plot. This is a supposed Lost Simpsons episode where, guess what happens? Bart dies by getting sucked out of an airplane window. There's legit barely anything actually scary with this one, and that's why it sucks. The only scary thing is at the end they zoom out on Bart's grave at one point to reveal other graves with celebrities' names on them with death dates that would later come true. Typical Simpsons stuff. Next one, if you're familiar with this one, you'll know why I think it's stupid. The Grifter. This is a legend surrounding a video called The Grifter, which is the most terrifying thing you'll ever see. And it's super fucking scary, and I'd rather fat to 3 guys, 1 hammer 1,000 times before watching it again. And it's a fucking joke! Why do people think this is a creepypasta? This is a stupid fucking inside joke on 4chan. Get your head out of the gutter, guys! Anyways, next one is Squidward's suicide. Dude, this fucking image has always been the funniest shit ever in my opinion. I don't care what anyone says. But basically, this is a lost SpongeBob episode where Squidward kills himself. And it suffers from typical creepypasta edginess. Nothing much else to it, though. Next one, I had to reread this, but holy shit, this has to go in here. Tiki Toby. What are these fucking names? We got Jeff the Killer, Dead Bart, and now fucking Tiki Toby. If I was a fucking serial killer and I got nicknamed Tiki Toby, I would be so fucking pissed, bro. That is the dumbest name out of all of these. Anyways, this is, in my opinion, just Jeff the Killer all over again, but with Slender Man in it. Basically, after an unreasonably tragic childhood, this emo kid named Tobias gets adopted by Slender Man and becomes his proxy. This is like nothing new for creepypasta standards, just more school shooter fan fiction. Okay, next one is actually going to be a really hot take. I don't think the creepypasta itself is bad. Like, I know it's adored by a lot of people, but I don't like it, but I don't think it's bad. I think the community is bad. Hear me out, okay? I'm talking about the SCP Foundation. Listen, the SCP Foundation, again, it's not bad. The fandom is. Why am I saying this? Well, if you don't know the SCP Foundation, it's honestly much more than just a creepypasta now. It is a fictional company that is dedicated to hunting down and detaining various cryptids. Now, here's the thing. I don't mean Bigfoot or Mothman. No, the SCP community makes their own monsters and adds lore to them. This is definitely a cool concept, and again, it's not that bad. But in recent years, I'm starting to get tired of the fucking community. You see, there's like 0 to no limit on what an SCP is, so you have people creating SCPs that are genuinely the most broken, overpowered character you could possibly imagine. And basically, when people are discussing like the strongest or biggest characters in fiction, these guys will just waltz on up saying the SCP they just fucking created 5 minutes ago could actually solo your character. Power scaling debates have been ruined by these guys, and it sucks. I brace myself whenever an SCP fan starts talking about power scaling, because they're gonna bring up how fucking SCP-134, who is an entity beyond God that eats entire realities for breakfast and is also the most evil character in fiction and is also the biggest character in fiction alongside the scariest character in fiction, yada yada yada. It's annoying! Okay, so before we get to the last one, there's 2 things I'd like to say on the topic of creepypastas. In my first video, I mentioned SuicideMouse.avi being a favorite of mine, which is false. I was misremembering a creepypasta by the name of Abandoned by Disney. This is a creepypasta where a guy explores an abandoned area of Disneyland, and he eventually gets to this backstage area, which, with like costumes, he enters room 0 and finds a costume of a photo-negative Mickey. That's alright fucked up enough. But wait, there's more, because the Mickey just fucking springs to life and says, "Wanna see something cool?" And he starts pulling his own head off with blood and shit. The guy runs out of there and probably killed himself by gouging out his eyes, naked and skinned alive. I don't know, a lot of these creepypastas end in ridiculous suicide methods. Next thing I wanted to say that this is just my personal opinion. Internet horror and creepypastas are not the same thing. Like the last video, I researched creepypastas again and found a lot of things that shouldn't be labeled as a creepypasta. I found this iceberg where we'll go over which entries I think shouldn't be there. Herobrine, to explain my point. Is Bigfoot in GTA San Andreas a creepypasta? No. Then why is Herobrine? Have you seen this man? This is more of an internet mystery. Polybius. This has been an urban legend since the 90s. Come on. Mario. This is a real ROM hack of Super Mario World and was an ARG. Crybaby Lane. This was a former piece of lost media that is now found, and is nothing super fucked up in reality. It wasn't banned for shocking content, it was simply forgotten. Most analog horrors aren't creepypastas. There are some things that are just straight up not creepypastas. Internet horror does not equal creepypasta. Even if some of these things have creepypastas written about them, they shouldn't be seen as just that. But while we're on the topic of things that shouldn't be creepypastas, there's an entire genre of internet horror that is always mislabeled as creepypastas. It doesn't need much of an introduction. I've made 2 videos about this. Old YouTube horror. Something I didn't mention, and for a reason, in those 2 videos, was that pretty much all of these videos had creepypastas written about them that were always dog shit. Not one of those spin-off creepypastas are good. And they usually recap the fucking video with the final additional context of made by a serial killer / cult, or don't watch, you'll kill yourself afterwards. Remember Barbie.avi? I only alluded to it, but that has a creepypasta that has made the video scary. The scary video it is, aside from simply being off-putting. Most people know Barbie.avi as a creepypasta because it's the most famous case. Some people think fucking Obey the Waltz is a creepypasta. That's even more messed up to me. That video is so old, everyone has to have fucking seen it by now. So in short, old YouTube horror is a separate genre of internet horror from creepypastas. Good talk.